A massive fire tears through a Leominster apartment building overnight, leaving area residents out in the cold. Veterans gathered over the weekend to celebrate at Riverfront Park. Our very own Glenn Fossa has the story. A fast-moving fire on Wednesday leaves a small town without a way to fill up on gas and destroys a very busy convenience store. We talked to the fire officials about what's next to get things back on track. I'm Stephanie Allison. All this and lots more coming up next on Our City News.
Stephanie, we traveled right here to the State House, right here on Beacon Hill, where the marijuana legislation is clearly in discussion. So much to talk about. The federal law versus the state law. State law concerning where you can sell it, who can buy it. Those are all of the concerns. And we spoke to people on the street on both sides of this aisle.
And now, the latest news, sports, and weather with Stephanie Allison and the entire Our City News team.
Leominster firefighters responded to a raging 3 a.m. fire in a multifamily building overnight. Firefighters had to work quickly to keep the fast-moving blaze from spreading to other neighborhood buildings. Residents of a second building were evacuated as firefighters pour water onto 18 Pleasant Place. No one was injured, but the three-family building was badly damaged. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. The town of Ashburnham is left with no way to fill up after another fast-moving fire destroyed the Mr. Mike's mobile station on Wednesday. Fire crews responded quickly, but the fire had already begun to consume the roof of the building upon their arrival. The Sentinel and Enterprise is reporting that the fire appears to have started at the rear of the building near the drive-thru for Dunkin' Donuts. The building was completely destroyed, but the gas pumps did not sustain any damage. Mr. Mike's is the only gas station in the small town, forcing residents to go elsewhere to fill up. Temporary measures are already being discussed to get the pumps back online. We talked to the fire official about what's next for this small community.
The call came in as a fire behind the building, and we responded out. We have two people on duty, myself and there was one other. We arrived on scene within 4 minutes of our dispatch. Just one engine, immediately striking the second alarm. The second alarm will start mutual aid on the way. On arrival of Chief Perro, maybe a minute behind me, he struck a third alarm, and that would bring in some more mutual aid companies, and we special called the tower ladder as well. In addition to our own units, we had Gardner, Winchendon, Westminster, Ashby, Fitchburg and Lunenburg covered our stations. Total number of personnel were in the area of about 35. The cost has not been determined as yet. It's still under investigation. It's still currently an open investigation. Right now it's Lieutenant Conrad and the State Fire Marshal's office. The goal is to get the pumps up and running because there is the only gas station in the area right now. And the convenience store in that area and the Dunkin' Donuts will be under construction, hopefully very shortly.
Veterans gathered over the weekend to celebrate at Riverfront Park. Our City News correspondent Glenn Fossa spoke to the area officials who attended the event.
Fitchburg Access Television's Our City News travels to Riverfront Park here on Monday, Patriots Day, celebrating veterans. With me, our own state representative, Stephen Hay. Steve, great to see you. We're here in Fitchburg at Riverfront Park celebrating veterans. There's a 5K today, so much going on.
Thanks, Glenn. Glad to be here. They asked me to come and speak. How can you go wrong when you're honoring patriots and veterans? You know, the best of the best.
And, you know, our piece at the State House not that long ago, we talked about each one of us, even if we haven't served ourselves, knows somebody or has someone very close to us who have. So this is a great piece.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, part of my speech is going to be about patriots, and the definition of patriot is somebody who is concerned about their country. So it's not just those in the service, it's people who do lots of different types of volunteerism and help their community and help the country. Thanks so much, Steve. Steve Hay, our own state representative right here in Fitchburg. Stay with us as we see more about this celebration. Of course, we just heard from a United States Marine Corps color guard from Monty Tech, ROTC, United States Marines, and with me, of course, the mayor of the city of Fitchburg, none other than Steve DiNatale. Steve, great to see
folks.
you. New
FATV viewers.
New grandfather for the second time, and then today we're celebrating veterans, and of course you are a Navy veteran in addition to being a honorary Fitchburg Red Raider. So
That's right.
yeah, tell us more about what's happening today. Great day for it. There's a 5K. The weather is nice. A little windy here at Riverfront Park.
Boy, it's very windy. I didn't know it was going to be this windy, but yeah, this is our annual event. Celebrating the Patriots and not the football team, although we'll celebrate them as well, but just remembering and recognizing the contribution that the rebels, is what they were, had on the creation of our country. So interesting that we're celebrating some of the folks that were here back in 1776 actually marched, if you could believe it, from here to Lexington and Concord. I mean, in a day when we jump in our cars and we can drive hundreds of miles, to think that you walked from here to Concord and Lexington, what a commitment, what a feat.
Extra special, of course, small history lesson from our very own mayor this morning right here at the Riverfront Park, celebrating Patriots Day. Mr. Mayor, any special messages to our veterans who served here locally?
This is a day to celebrate patriotism, and it's so very, very important for us to recognize those individuals currently today. I mean, our veterans that are actively overseas and whatnot, and the ones who've served in the past. It's a time for us to celebrate and say thank you.
Thanks so much, Mr. Mayor. Fitchburg Access Television, Our City News continues. From the Worcester Veteran Center, Bruce Ware, and to my left from the Springfield Veteran Center, Craig Hall. Right here, of course, a mobile unit, all set up for today's festivities here, Patriots Day in Fitchburg. Got a 5K, we've got all kinds of celebrations and celebrities here to speak with us. Bruce, tell us a little bit about what the Veteran Center does.
Well, we do outreach. Us, in general, do outreach. Try to bring in veterans who may have some issues going on from being in a combat situation or something from being in service, be it bereavement or military sexual trauma or PTSD or any other things, and get them in and get them help.
So this is an extra special thing because it's something most recent. In the day it was, we had shell shock, and they sort of wouldn't talk about it, and there wasn't a lot of help. But today there's a lot of awareness.
Much so, yeah, a lot of awareness. But the problem still is they don't know what's out there. And today we're just here to let people know we're out there for them. If we can't take care of the issues they may have been stricken with, we'll get them to someone who can.
Yeah. And do you have a website for those who might be looking?
You know, website, Craig?
VetCenter.gov. Okay.
There you go.
VetCenter.gov. Yeah, that's all right. We'll clip it and get it in here. And Craig, of course, from the Springfield Center, this is great because we've got folks from the South, folks from the West. This is great to come together today and once again, awareness to let our veterans know you're here.
Oh, it really is. I work with a lot of different vet centers all around Massachusetts and in New Hampshire, Connecticut. I really go everywhere. And I actually run the mobile vet center. So it's nice to get around and just let them guys know that, you know, we do what we can to help them out.
Yeah. And you have a website?
Absolutely, yeah. It's www.vetcenter.va.gov.
Excellent. And so stay with us as Fitchburg Access Television, Our City News continues. Back at Riverfront Park, of course, no Patriot could be complete without an actual group of active duty or people that are on their way to active duty service right here in the United States Marine Corps from Monty Tech, the ROTC program. With me to my left, Ian Fossa. Ian, great to see you today. You're here with your colleagues. This is going to be a great celebration and something for the Color Guard.
Absolutely, so we're happy to be here.
So, of course, ROTC and the work in the Marine Corps so far that you've done, this is a very special time when the community comes together and celebrates your service and the service of others.
Very.
Yeah. And so moving forward, the Color Guard today will do a couple of things. Just tell us maybe a couple of the things that you'll be doing.
Well, mostly we'll be posting colors, which will stand in the background, look good, and present our colors during the national anthem. And hopefully everything goes smoothly.
Does everybody have the same role, or do you have a designation in the Color Guard?
We're all taught to perform each individual spot. Miss Balder is performing right rifle. Guzman is performing left rifle. Daniel Stellato is performing battle colors with the Marine Corps flag, and I'm holding the national colors.
Excellent. Well, that is extra special for today's celebration. Of course, the 5K going to go off in just a few minutes. Fantastic display of our Color Guard from Montechusett Vocational Technical School, ROTC, United States Marine Corps program. Ian, thank you so much for the day, and your colleagues as well. And now back to you, Stephanie.
Growing Places is having an Earth Day garden party hosted by New View Communities and Growing Places. Celebrate Earth Day at your local community garden. This event will take place at the Sundial Gardens tomorrow, Saturday, April 22nd at 11 a.m. at 179 Elm Street in Fitchburg. Enjoy kids' activities, live music, light snacks, and get your hands dirty. It's free. Everyone is welcome. Learn how to container garden and build an eco-friendly herb spiral. It's a great way to have some fun and learn a lot about gardening. Kelly Johnson talked with Growing Places crew last year as they built the garden boxes near St. Joe's Church in Fitchburg.
Good morning. I'm Kelly Johnson with Our City, here at the St. Joseph's Parish Community Garden Site, where today, with Growing Places, we are building community garden beds, so that way Fitchburg residents can help themselves and learn to grow and learn to garden and be a part of the community. Too full, huh? I'm interviewing today Janet O'Brien from Growing Places, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how this project came to be and what successes we are looking forward to today.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. So Growing Places is here today to participate in National Volunteer Week. We received grant funding through Mass Service Alliance, and we're here to install the Cleghorn Community Garden. Our goal ultimately is to have 18 raised bed gardens here for members of Growing Places Teaching Garden. And today we're working on part 1. We're going to get 9 beds installed.
That's wonderful. So can you tell me a little bit about the volunteers that I see behind us?
Absolutely. So today we have a mix of folks. We have some folks who are members of St. Joseph Church, but we also have a great crew of students from Leominster Center for Excellence. And we have a few individuals from the community who decided to come help us out today, too.
So I see that 9 beds is the goal today and 18 beds total. So has St. Joseph's gone ahead and filled the position for the 18 beds that will be built?
Yeah, this garden is already full. There's been a lot of demand. So 10 of the beds will be used in Growing Places teaching garden program. 4 of them are used as demonstration garden beds that Growing Places tends, and then the remainder will be used by St. Joseph's to supply their food pantry.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. And I'd also like to take just a minute to highlight other teaching gardens and community gardens in the Fitchburg area. So if you could tell us where else we could see Growing Places in action, I think that would be awesome.
Absolutely. So we're also at a couple other key gardens in Fitchburg. The Sundial Community Garden right in front of the Sundial Apartments, and the Pritchard Street Community Garden, which is on Pritchard Street.
I'm here with Liz Malone from the Leominster Center for Excellence, who is here today with her students who are participating in National Volunteer Week and helping with this Growing Places project. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys got involved today?
We are part of the Leominster Center for Excellence, and we actually were located right next to Growing Places. So I reached out to Janet O'Brien, and she told us about the volunteer work. It was a great opportunity. Our students do a lot of real-world learning and hands-on life experiences, so we thought it would be a great opportunity to get out and help the community and get to know people and help out.
So how many students might you have with you today?
Today we have 8 students with us.
That's excellent. And all of them look like they're pretty excited to be here. Some of them look a little tired, but they're high school kids, so we know how that goes. So thank you very much for being here. And I think this is a great way for the kids to give back to their community. So thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a great day to be out here building. A little bit windy, but we have our jackets and we're toasty warm. So I want to thank everyone here and thank Growing Places for getting together during National Volunteer Week for such a great project. I am Kelly Johnson for Our City.
Spring has sprung, and our very own Glenn Fossa has your 10-day weather report right here for Fitchburg.
And Stephanie, we're out on the east platform here at Fitchburg Access Television News, 175 Kimball Street. Fitchburg Our City News, of course. Route 12 under some rain right now. Of course, this is Friday. Moving into next week, they're looking at temperatures midweek coming from Wednesday, 75 potentially to 80 degrees during the day, and some sultry nights coming as spring returns. And we have some more news for you coming up.
I am George Meridanian, and welcome to another edition of Chess Chat.
Surrounding the marijuana legislation here in Massachusetts, people have questions on how it'll all work as we move forward. Glenn Fossa went to the State House, and we also talked to people right here on the streets of Fitchburg to find out more.
In the news, legalization of marijuana. The conversation still continues about recreational use, prescription use. This is what some folks in Fitchburg on the street had to say. Obviously, legislation has been passed on recreational use of marijuana. It's also been passed on the medical use of marijuana, and you have some familiarity with that. So just give us your opinion on where they should go from here in terms of distribution, who should distribute it, where it should be distributed, some of the rules you think should be in place.
Well, I think it's definitely great that Massachusetts has passed this legalization of marijuana. I think it's a good thing, but I think they should have structured areas where people are allowed to smoke it. Like when you go to the state of Denver, Colorado, you go to a little park that's all fenced in and trash barrels, and you're allowed to smoke inside that, designated area. I think things like that should be, brought up here in the state of Massachusetts. I think the medical laws are doing really well out here. I hope the finances get as big as Colorado, where we can donate millions of dollars to help out the education and school systems here in Massachusetts.
Fitchburg Access Television, Our City News, still on the street, capturing some ideas and opinions of those here. Of course, we know about the legalization of recreational marijuana in the state of Massachusetts. We know about the use of it as a prescription medication. Today's news, Sentinel Enterprise, asking the question, should opiate use somewhere in a controlled environment be legal?
That's a tricky thing. Controlled, I guess, if it's in the form of just helping people get treatment and helping people get off the stuff, that I would be all about. If it was really controlled and really, regulated that kind of way. Because I could see how it would be easy for someone who is just looking to get another fix or something, kind of, cheat the system and get that. So if there's a way to kind of make that happen and just, in the within the scope of just helping people get off of it.
I think, of course, of the combination of methadone and all of the Suboxone-type treatments that there are for opiates, I'm not certain that is the direction that goes. It sounds more like setting up a room where people can legally shoot up.
See, that kind of thing I would definitely be against. I can personally say I've lost a handful of friends to overdoses on opiates, and there's not really much. If it's just like a recreational thing, then there's no way I could back that personally.
And as the big discussion about distribution of marijuana, particularly that of legalized marijuana and prescription marijuana, the discussion opens to a broader question in today's Sentinel Enterprise about potential rooms where it would be legal to inject harmful drugs or opiates for that matter. So this is part of the discussion. With me, Ulysses. Ulysses, good to see you today. The distribution or the dispensary of legal marijuana, and it always being concerned that marijuana is a gateway drug. Your thoughts on that?
It's absolutely not a gateway drug. In actuality, what it's going to do is bridge the gap between those who have used more harmful drugs and allow them to become a better advocate or better treatment for their transition into the civilization or the real world from the rehabilitation stage. So, it's by popular belief that it's a gateway drug, but it's absolutely not, and the truth needs to be told, for sure.
So if you travel, of course, to Venice Beach, California, where it's wide and open and dispensation is prolific, and, of course, the state of Colorado, do we see this sort of melding into this new idea that this should be opened up to maybe an opiate drug being not illegal anymore to use or to inject? How do you see those two pieces forming together, or they shouldn't?
Absolutely. Well, it's notorious for folks to go to rehab because of opioids. I mean, let's be honest, it's an epidemic now. So where I see them focusing together or merging together is to help rehabilitation. I have friends. I have, friends of friends who have been to rehab, and I've heard directly from their mouth that there is a gap, and marijuana can help that gap, and I firmly believe it without a doubt.
Stephanie, this conversation is obviously not over and much still in the news. Stay with us right here on Fitchburg Access Television's Our City News.
Thanks, Glenn. State Representative Stephen Hay will be hosted candid conversations about marijuana policies at 6 p.m. Monday, May 8th at Fitchburg State University's Kent Recital Hall. The event will be run in a hearing-like format. There will be a sign-up sheet for those who wish to speak at the event. Each person who signs up to speak will be allotted time to provide testimony or thoughts on the marijuana policy. Parking will be provided right across the street. If you are unable to attend but would like to express your thoughts about the marijuana policies, visit the Representative's District Office at the Senior Center, 14 Wallace Street, or call the office at 978-829-1794.
And welcome to FATV, Fitchburg Access Television. Each week we take pride in providing some of the best public access television programs in New England. From FATV live sporting events, city meetings, and school functions, to weekly shows such as Barbara and Youth, Inside and Discussing Fitchburg, Sports Weekly, Weekly Wellness, and Our City. Our dedicated staff of industry professionals and hard-working volunteers is here each week working behind the scenes, making it all happen. Besides on air, our programming is also shown live online, where you can see our shows in beautiful high definition. You can also search through our archive of past shows and watch anytime at your leisure. But did you know you can also be part of the action? Become a member of FATV, and you gain access to all the equipment, studio space, and classes that FATV has to offer. You can create your own show, volunteer for exciting live events in our studio, or all around the city in our high-quality mobile broadcast truck. The possibilities are endless. For a small fee, you can become an individual member. Or for a little more, you and a group of friends can become part of a rising trend in the future of television. From sports shows to news shows, civic events, and talk shows, you can be in the driver's seat by directing and even starring in your own production. Also, students are free. FATV staff can assist you by getting your new show up and running with professional industry standard equipment, TV studio time, and private editing suites. All you need are friends to help out, and before you know it, you will be on the air. So if you have a great idea for a TV show and want to share it with the world, stop by 175 Kimball Street, Fitchburg, for a free tour of our facility. You can also contact us at 978-343-0834 or email us at info@fatv.org. Fitchburg Access Television, working together for a stronger community.
And Stephanie, I'm holding in my hand a ticket for the 21st Annual Boulder Awards, given, of course, by Fitchburg Access Television. This year, the recipient of the Boulder Award, Charles St. Amand, the editor of Sentinel Enterprise, and, of course, many, many years of his great reporters doing news and giving information to our citizens here in the city. The event, of course, is Thursday, May 11th of 2017. Cocktails at 6 o'clock, and then at 7, dinner. It's going to be a great time, but you've got to get your tickets now, and now is the time. So back to you, Stephanie.
If you have a story you'd like to see, send us an email at ourcitynews@fatv.org. I'm Stephanie Allison, and thanks for watching Our City News.